Now, let's move to Russia and the effect of the tariffs slash oil prices. What happened? Of course, when you have markets down, like the New York Stock Exchange and Nasdaq, then of course people think that there will be slowdown, and many economists are speaking about stagflation, meaning low growth and high inflation, which means that companies will not produce as much, and they will not need as much oil, and the demand for oil goes down, and price for oil goes down too. That happened, of course. You might have followed Brent and other sorts of oil, but for Russia, they have a special sort of oil called Urals. So what is happening? On April 7, Kremlin announced that it was closely monitoring oil markets after the price of its key export-grade Urals crude fell below $50 a barrel. We are very closely monitoring the situation, which is currently characterized as extremely turbulent, tense, and emotionally charged, Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov told the Russian Interfax agency. Peskov attributed the situation, the price drop, to the U.S. Decision to impose tariffs on most countries in the world. Urals crude fell to just over $50 a barrel. That is well below the $70 a barrel benchmark used to plan Russia's 2025 budget. With oil and gas revenues accounting for nearly 30% of budget revenues, the price drop poses a significant problem. As early as late March, global oil prices were actually rising, driven by US sanctions on Iran and ongoing discussions about potential ceasefire in Russia's war in Ukraine, with Brent crude hitting a little bit more than $72 a barrel, while US West Texas Intermediate crude rose to 68.68 cents per barrel. However, Russian oil and gas revenues fell 17% year-on-year in March to $12.8 billion. The government lost an estimated $2.7 billion in tax revenue compared to March 2024, with oil and gas revenues accounting for a third of total of government income. I don't know if that was planned as an effect by the US administration. Probably it was not, but that's it. And as you hit Russia and you hit with the tariffs, their biggest partner right now, China, that probably will have some effect on the negotiations for a possible ceasefire and then permanent peace between Ukraine and Russia. But let's see. So far, the situation is that Russia has been hit and they have problems with their budget.